All right, so it's 10:02, and most of the people watch it on the replay. So, have you ever felt like you are actually on the other side of your spiritual awakening? Instead of desperately running around seeking out the latest workshop, book, lingo, healer, guru, or expert to wake you out of your sleepy stupor, there seems to be a lift indicating you are no longer in the throes of the endless fears and anxiety of 3D living. But how do we maintain this higher vibration? Today we will be talking about how to recognize signs of awakening and how to hold the vibration.
Before you begin, Todd, I'd like to say the part about, but good Lord, how do we maintain the vibration? We need a little prayer in there to hold the vibration.
Okay, what's wrong with the video?
Nothing over here? We're good?
Huh?
We're good over here.
Okay, so LifeQuest isn't. Okay, so let's start. Hey, it's Todd Nanner, and welcome to our live stream brought to you by LifeQuest Institute. Here it is, Wednesday again. Happy Wednesday to you all. A big shout out to those following along with us for all the live stream videos, and welcome to those who are with us today for the first time. Be sure to say hello, where you are from, share any thoughts, comments, or even ask questions. Towards the end of the show, we will take some time to go over your thoughts, well wishes, and questions. If you are a new guest to this event and missed any of the other shows, you can find them in the announcement section of Awaken the Shift Facebook page. You will find the answers to many questions we've been asked, including information about how and why we created Awaken the Shift, how we got started, what we have been working on these last couple of years, and the transformation to LifeQuest Institute. As we said before, enjoy these recordings with no judgment. We are all going through the same process with similar struggles, even if it deals with various life challenges and lessons. We are here to learn and overcome as we learn to get along with each other, co-creating the new earth. It won't do any good to drag out our old or bring our old, worn out, tired beliefs, which will only perpetuate what we have already done on the earth. That needs to change. Overall, we all need to do our part. This means being responsible and accountable for the life we want to create, personally, as well as the life we want to see globally. Anna, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready. Happy to be here.
Okay.
We got quite the lineup today.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we're starting with the keyword time. So as you know, we start each live stream with a keyword to focus on. The purpose is to use the word to encourage those aha moments during your week. A simple reminder to bring you back into the now moment. So take advantage of it, and have it like right here haunting you. Okay, the word today is paradigm. The definition is a new way of looking at something, like a widely accepted example, belief, or concept. Synonyms. I want to give you some more synonyms, which are to view, perspective, or position. So the change, the new view, the new perspective, the new position. The antonym is, this is weird, follower.
Ah, yes.
You're not thinking, you're just following.
Right.
You're not doing any mental gymnastics, it's just following. Deconcentrate, not concentrating, and misconceptions. Hanging on what could be misconceptions. So let's see how many paradigms we can collect during the live stream or for the rest of your life if you want. And you'll know when we hit the word if we miss. Hope you're doing it at home, but usually we go paradigm. What do we do?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, thank you. Ding, 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 ding.
Right. Okay, so let's begin today's live stream, Signs of Awakening and how to hold that vibration. As we awaken, we gain a heightened understanding about life as well as ourselves. These heightened awarenesses are due to a new paradigm shift you have experienced. Right.
I gotta be, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
This means you are willing to look at something in a new and different way without judgment or bias. This will then broaden your knowledge base easily and simply.
Yeah, it becomes much easier.
Yes.
All right.
You need a paradigm shift.
ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Be careful, I'll bother you the entire time. Say it a lot. Okay, so we've included 7 what we're calling heightened awarenesses or signs that you may recognize as part of your awakening already. So number 1, knowings. Knowing. There's a knowing that you know. Sounds silly, but it's true. You've gained a certain amount of knowledge or awareness that is a secret or known only to a few people because you're more centered, you're more in your spirit, and you will have those aha moments, and it's no longer necessary to know the why or the how. Or who's involved. There's an intuitive level that you just know. That's the knowing. So oftentimes you might not really know, but what you do know is there is a bigger plan in motion, and you trust that. So hang on to your knowings.
Right, and you notice you smile more. The more you know, the more you smile, as if you are having a telepathic conversation with Source or with the universe. Total acknowledgement, understanding, and a level of trust that does not require any questions of proof. If in your heightened awareness state, life challenges no longer hold so much drama as it had in the past. You have more strength and stamina for more important things in life, more to smile about. And actually changes your physiology. A lot is to do with the smile. When you smile, it changes your physiology.
Your whole being lights up.
Right.
Okay. So, and as your awakening ramps up, you may have less energy or bounce. And sometimes we just need to slow down, digest a little bit, reset ourselves. And we're all working hard. We're all surrounded by the new energy, the higher vibrations, the DNA changes and growth spurts that's going on with us. We may need to give ourselves a break from time to time. We may just need to sit and breathe on the exhale, get the stale air out of your system, out. There you go. Just, I saw you inhale though.
No, it's very important.
It's on the exhale.
Yep.
And sometimes we just don't have enough energy in a day, or so much energy in the day.
Right. I mean, we're only allotted so much from Source. So really negative thoughts, stress and emotion, that all wastes your energy. So you want to, silence is very key to, silence, I mean having peace, tranquility within your mind, within yourself, actually conserves your energy. When you're stressing and having multiple thoughts, you're actually wasting energy. So it's more about what are you going to do with your allotment of energy every day.
Yeah, so if you have this much,
right.
And you go overboard, you get exhausted. You get exhausted here, you get exhausted here, and it's just like, well, why have all this
right.
drama going on? It's just kind of pick and choose.
Right. So here's more on your heightened awareness. You might have more connections with Mother Earth, with nature. You may have more wonder and awe of the intricacies you see. You may realize how delicate the world actually is, something which you might not have ever noticed before or took for granted. You embrace, nature's beauty and the miracles that seem to be all around us, but it's always been there. You just haven't noticed it.
It's true. Just walking by and seeing a little flower, or even notice that little baby flower that came out of the crack of the concrete sidewalk.
Right.
I mean, it's just amazing. It's like, wow, things are happening. Okay, so nature, being in touch with nature, Mother Earth. That's number 3. Number 4 is all about appreciation. You might have more appreciation in life, which would bring on more smiles, as if to say, I smiled in appreciation of. Okay, and fill in that blank. I mean, just kind of notice how you might be grinning, or you just have like a glint in your eye and you're smiling. You begin to recognize and enjoy what life has to offer. Before it was just kind of assumed, maybe. You have more respect, you cherish life more, you treasure life, you admire or have high opinions or higher opinions than you've had in the past. These are all signs of appreciation. These are all signs of awakening. So number 5.
Number 5. So as you heighten your spiritual awareness, you may experience more joy. When you have more joy, you are trading out any feelings of misery, despair, and sadness. You realize that you prefer joy. And just bringing your consciousness to that aspect. So when you get yourself in the hamster wheel, I like to call it, and it's just negative thoughts, you need to stop, right, and recognize, who are these thoughts for? right? And understand you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions. So if you can become the observer and see it all happening in front of you, you disconnect from the thoughts and the emotions, and you realize, oh, I don't have to get swept away with that thought or that emotion. You step back and let it rise, and then it dissipates. And then over time, you get closer to your higher self, your true self, because the reality is we're trying to crush your ego. Okay, so
on that note, if on any given day, which, I don't know stats or anything, but let's say 60% of our day is kind of in a negative spiral.
Well, with 60, it's actually being tested. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, the average person. Mm-hmm. So of that, 40,000, they say, are actually negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So if we're hanging here and lower, we can't awaken. There's no room there. We got to shift all that to hang here. Get rid of the low vibration.
Right. So you want to pick joy, over the negative vibration, over sadness. You may feel a sense of pleasure and happiness. You may be more aware of having feelings of delight or lightening.
Delight.
Or lightening your stress load and feelings of being overwhelmed. And really just a lot, I would say, is really just try to keep your mind clear and thought, like even for, if you could do it for a day, try a day of just have no negative thoughts. And when you have a negative thought, write it down,
Ding, ding, ding.
Right.
Negative thought, not paradigm. Do your own dings for your own
That's
negative thoughts.
That's actually a whole nother.
Yeah, I know it's hard to do it for 10 minutes, let alone a whole day. And doing it for an hour would be incredible.
Right. Well, just recognizing how many negative thoughts you are having throughout your day, writing it down. So at 7:30 had a scarcity thought. 8 o'clock had a negative thought about a relationship. 8:15, right? So every time you negative thought, you write it down. You keep a pad of paper in your pocket for one day. And just see how many negative thoughts you have throughout the day. And what that does, it brings the light of your consciousness onto your thought process to realize, oh my God. And then you wonder why your world's so stressful and all that, because in reality, it's, right, you create inside, which creates your outside. So when people have a misery life and it's chaotic or they're sad and all that, and they're trying to work on the objective reality, the reality is you got to work on the interior, the subjective, because the subjective reality creates the objective reality. Once it's in the objective reality, it's already happened. So you need to work at the root of the tree, which is your subjective.
So by that explanation, we can understand how we're out of energy. Okay, because you're writing it down. And by putting a time to it, like 8:15, 9:45, 9:75, 9:60, whatever. Still in the 9 a.m., right? So what happens is you begin to collect and maybe even connect the dot that, mornings are tough. Mornings are hard.
Very good point.
So
absolutely.
if we kind of collect all that little bit of data, then we can recognize, we could change things around so that we're not so stressed out.
Right. And that's where a morning ritual would come in. So you're actually going into checking in with yourself every morning for 5 to 10 minutes, having a moment of silence, and just bringing that peace and tranquility into your moment for that 5 to 10 minutes. And when you come out of that moment, that 5 to 10 minutes, you're bringing that, because it's almost a meditation, raises your vibration, but it also creates in the background the substratum of peace and tranquility. So when you leave your vibration, you go into the world, you're bringing that substratum into your day, and that would literally change your whole, what's wrong?
It doesn't let me do a comment. I wanted to say hi to Marcel.
Hey, what's up, Marcel?
I'm trying to write you a comment, and I got...
All right, it doesn't matter. Right, go.
Hang on a second.
What's wrong?
It doesn't let me...
No, it's going to feed back to them, but that's not...
I got it.
What do Warren say?
Or I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Okay, don't talk about that just yet because it's funny. Lauren's funny. Okay, let's talk about number 6.
Okay.
All right. So, are you finding yourself shifting on the different paradigms that we're sharing? First of all, and so that's a good thing. So the next heightened experience is that you may find that you're actually liking yourself. Wow. That's a thought. All right. You start enjoying your own company. You enjoy silence. You enjoy working or playing around on different projects that brings you joy and joy and tranquility.
Right.
Have you noticed how your imagination kind of takes off, causing you to create new and exciting projects, different ones? You might have 2, 3 going on at the same time. Your spirit is sparking. It's bringing in your gifts and talents that you've had on the back burner. You're allowing them to come to the front and actually using them and playing.
Right, and you no longer have interest in the mundane, pretentious lifestyle or the pseudo conversations that lack, the genuine discourse. It's almost like you really, when you're into the spiritual growth and development, that's kind of, it takes over your life, and that's kind of, you're more fascinated with all of that. So when people want to talk about other subjects, it is, it gets monotonous. So you do what you can, though. You're more fascinated with all of that. So when people want to talk about other subjects.
All right. Facebook might be a little delayed here.
Oh,
All
just
right.
continue with.
So are we on number 7 now?
Yes.
I kind of got a little distracted with number 6. Okay, so it's true. You may even find that you are reinventing your life, your passion, your joys, your interests through maybe some education, maybe a certification. You study, you're researching. There may be a new and bigger change coming your way. Maybe your life has taken on a new direction, possibly a different job. Maybe you're going to tap into doing that entrepreneurial interest that you had, or maybe relationships and new relationships, or removing certain relationships, even if it means removing family members. That's a hard one, but that's probably part of the process as well for many individuals.
So as we begin to understand a bigger picture of the universe, nature, and others, we begin to respond to life differently. You may find yourself being more personally responsible towards yourself and those around you. You may also discover you have a heightened interest in being a seeker of truth, right?
Yeah,
so the seeker of truth, the truth of yourself, right? So who is the true self of me, right? So you have to get beyond the ego, and that's kind of what all these talks are doing, is to give you different avenues to get around the ego, to find your true self. And once you find your true self, your ego dissolves, because really your ego is not even a real thing. It's actually a ghost.
Well, it's part of being stuck in the 3D duality, separation, ego, we're lathered with. So anyway, probably most importantly is realizing that you are motivated from within, from your spirit.
Yes.
This means you are hearing the inner voice, if you will, your higher power thinking self. You will have less confusion when making choices, which is always a good thing, and will cease to underestimate yourself as you have in the past. So proof is when you realize your day is full of being self-motivated, being self-directed, and self-monitored. It's just all right in here,
Right.
From the heart to the head, and connecting a lot of different dots.
And then as you're working on, all this stuff, the veil of forgetfulness, what we spoke with, is falling to, or is getting thinner. Your higher self is coming from the inside of you, working your way out. So the more you start putting your attention on, going inside yourself, don't forget your higher self's coming from the inside out. So you're trying to meet it, and it's probable that a lot of people on this planet are going to become fully self-aware. Not everybody, but right. So I'd want to be on the precipice of that. So when it really starts happening, I want to be one of the first ones that actually becomes full aware. And that's becoming full aware of your true self, as well as living in an objective reality.
That's a balance.
Yeah. All right. So these new changes you are experiencing is due to being open to new paradigms. And you will definitely experience less confusion when making choices, as well as ceasing to underestimate yourself as you have in the past. So we just went over 7 heightened signs of awakening. Now consider the following 7 keywords that indicate you have moved on for the better, as they are not as prevalent in your life than they used to be. So what's the first one?
Worried.
Oh, yeah,
Being worried.
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesus, he says. Okay, being worried is a big emotion that most likely you're aware of and you moved on from, or the minute you get worried, you turn that frown upside down, you're less likely to experience anxiety and stress. If you don't have any anxiety and stress and you don't get worried, please make a comment for us, because it's good to see many more people kind of growing with that.
And you don't find your mind dwelling on a particular difficulty in your life or troubling situations, right?
Yeah.
You're not ruminating about such emotions like panicking, being flustered, or alarmed at mind-bending concerns that don't have as much power over you as it used to. You can't smile if you are worried. Right.
Ain't no smiling happening for sure. Okay, number 2, conflict. It doesn't seem to be as crucial as it once was. Being ornery, disagreeable, or argumentative is of no interest to you. That's not to say if you need to be, you will join in on any debate to right a wrong or dispel misconceptions or give your perspective. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't find the need. I mean, it's kind of like, do I want to get involved with that? And more times you're walking away. But every day, skirmishes just keep you busy and preoccupied. You recognize that, you realize that, and then what do you get by the end of that conversation? Awakened individuals have things to do, even if it's just to sit with a cup of tea and enjoy some nature. You'd rather be in nature and take your shoes and socks off and put your feet, your feet without shoes on the planet, on the earth, and have it drink in with all the cells that you have there. So long gone is the interest in engaging in disputes, quarrels. You no longer have the need to be right. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more too.
Right.
So it's all moving on.
All right, so another emotion that doesn't seem to get triggered as often is anger, right? Old feelings of being annoyed, being displeasant, or irritated aren't as prevalent as they used to be. Like any other emotion, if you're not attached, they kind of don't show up in your life as much as they used to. Now, that's not to say you won't be challenged with some sort of upset to trigger your anger, but because you understand the bigger picture, you smile knowing the universe is toying with you, and you have new life skills to use, which is your preferred choice. And I used to like to teach a thing, stimulus response, right? So whatever's creating the stimulus, you have the wisdom and the knowing to choose an appropriate response. So don't get carried away into the thoughts or the emotions that the stimulus is carrying you into.
Yeah, we got some really good topics here.
Yeah.
I mean, you even touched on the word knowing again, which was the first way that we've moved on, because we have a knowing, okay? So, number 4, assumptions. It's a good one that gets most of us, making assumptions. And it can be difficult to overcome. The ego just loves to prove to you that you are more their friend than your own spiritual friend that you are. It's like you're an ego friend and not your spiritual friend, and we're going to turn that frown upside down. I'm getting confused here. So we're so quick to accept something that is true without really knowing the whole story. So we make assumptions because we jump to conclusions. And synonyms of assumptions is to conjecture or speculate, or we make guesses, and we contrive theories and deductions, and sometimes these aren't true. So we all know these reactions way too well. We all do that. So assumptions, and when you break down that word assumption, we all know what that spells. We've heard that before.
All right.
I won't say it.
Right. So another reaction high on the list that gets in our way is judgment. Judgment can be both good and not so good. The ego judgment and non-ego judgment. Any conclusion or observation that's attached to anger, jealousy, or envy results in judgments that are ego-based and create certain conditions we expect of others. Ego judgments are not unconditional. Non-ego judgments have more discernment based on common sense thoughts. There is no anger attached. Non-ego judgment is a great way to connect with your inner voice, your spiritual self, your true self, sharing good ideas that point out a new direction to head for. Judgment's a tough one, yeah.
We got some toughies here. But people are recognizing them and kind of stepping back towards it. They're not in your face as much.
Right.
So we don't have any judgment.
Right. We all do. If none of it, right.
Okay, so I think we're up number 6. So, which is counting. Okay, so let me explain what I mean by counting, because it is probably very prevalent in your life. Although if you're awakened to it, you probably don't do it as much, and that's the paradigm we're looking for. Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
So this is in regards to someone who's done more in the relationship than you have, or you've done more in the relationship than someone else has. That's the counting that I'm talking about. And when you count, consciously or unconsciously, you're expecting a return for your efforts. It's like a quid pro quo, and that's been a highlighted word this year.
Right.
So, and you're looking for like an equal exchange. You know, in your mind, you may feel like that if it was equal, well, they love me. And so if it's not equal, they don't love me. And it's not really about that. But awakened individuals understand that this isn't nearly as important to you anymore to have this counting thing going on. You're happy to help. You're happy to serve without any compensation whatsoever, love or otherwise, financial otherwise. It's
Right.
We got to lose the counting.
Right. So you don't need to be repaid. Your payment is the heightened joy you feel for just being a genuine sharing person. Right.
That's true.
Being repaid or compensated is life having the last word. That used to be important to you, but it isn't important to you anymore. You don't do that anymore. You don't need to be right, right? So
Right.
of course, this doesn't mean, right? Of course, this doesn't mean being treated like a doormat or being taken advantage of. There is a difference. Okay, so now that we have explored the old outdated ways you have moved on from in the new ways that have taken the place of the old, how do we hold on to the higher vibrations that we have discovered and preferred?
It's difficult because anything like, okay, we're just getting our day started here. It's 10:30 almost. And so, we're just beginning. So we can expect some kind of incident to happen that's going to trigger us to fall back. So we're going to discover how to keep that vibration high. So to start, let's explore the many ways the ego can dupe us into being less than we really are. So I'm loving my keywords here today. So like superiority, you act superior as if you have an advantage. Kind of like a ninny boo boo way of thinking, as if you're on the up and up and you think you know more. You have the lead, the edge, the higher distinction, or some kind of greatness over someone else. That's not awakening. That's ego. That's a low vibration attitude.
Right.
So
these types of beliefs are all ego traps.
Yeah.
These are delusional beliefs. Ego has something to say to just about every thought you have. Ego will sabotage your spiritual state of mind in every way possible. Let's consider what could be identified as noble or righteous, but still a trap. For instance, practicing yoga all dolled up with the very tailored fitness matching clothing, and then at the same time scoffing at others who don't practice yoga. Have all the you can have all the outfits you want, but be aware of the ego wanting to scoff at others. Feel the paradigm shift there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
And it's really true. And so many individuals, wear those outfits out and about. They're shopping, they're picking up their kids, or, they're walking around just wherever you're walking around, and, they just and it's just perfect. And so, yeah, but, I don't have that perfect. I don't have that outfit. I don't have,
Right.
and I didn't go to yoga that morning either. Okay. So what about recycling? Everything in judging others who don't recycle. People, when they recycle everything, they have different bins for everything. Or what about last year or this year, the plastic straws come to mind. Remember the rage about the plastic straws? We got big cups are floating around that are plastic, but the straws, we're going to have a big thing about.
Right.
Kind of like that toilet paper thing, So,
Yes.
Or maybe you're a vegan and you look down on those who eat meat. Maybe you're a minimalist and you judge others who don't either walk or bike or get a ride to school like you, or to work like you do.
Right.
Same with television. You scorn those who watch, especially the news. You can always share with someone why television isn't good for you, but how did you say it? What kind of judgmental energy was used, as if to say, everybody knows TV is programming? Question mark.
Right.
Okay. I think you guys get the idea here. It's all tone, attitude, body language. Yeah.
What's your intent?
Yeah.
put it that. Whatever your intent behind those decisions you're making on people, or your responses. So worse is that feeling of moral high ground attitude, or even a discussion that includes name calling or energy stealing, or leaving a conversation in disgust, as if your way is the only way. Anything resulting in superiority, judgment, aggrandizement, disdain, looking down upon, scoffing, being haughty or arrogantly superior, all snobbery known as spiritual snobbery.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a big thing too,
Yeah.
especially the people that are into spiritual growth and development. That can actually hinder you,
Yeah, there's a better balance, and we bump into people like that a lot. Wherever you go, I'm sure you are as well. So, are any of us truly of the woods, or have completely completed any of our life lessons? I don't know. We're here to learn. So, what about our own insecurities, our doubts, our life confusions, or don't know exactly what we're doing or where we're going? So at some level, we're all suffering from some degree or another. Then there are those who consider themselves to be awakened and spiritual because they have suffered more than the next person.
Right.
So that's not quite correct as well.
All right, though, on any given day, they are angry, depressed, and going through life lessons just like the rest of us. Are they really all that spiritual, or are they just redirecting their anger with self-disappointment? These are all questions to consider daily.
Daily. Gotta go think, have a conversation with yourself. So sadly, the result is pushing people away from us versus what exactly? What can be done so we can begin the process of oneness and more love, or all love. So,
right. We can practice unconditional acceptance even if we don't like or even understand another's perspective. We could have compassion for the life they are struggling with, the life lessons they are encountering.
Oh gosh, this is we're
40 minutes.
Yeah. I want to get into body language. Hang on, all the bodies.
Put it that. Whatever you're encountering.
Okay, because I want to talk about. Look, see how this.
All right, we're trying to get comments here. You're not pulling up all the comments?
No, see, it just gives us 3 comments.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, I do want
to.
I do want to share that I asked Oren how his eye doctor appointment was, how'd it go, and he says they're good, all 3 of them.
yes. The third eye, nice.
Yeah. So hang on, let me shift back.
I think we're at the end of it anyways. I'm not gonna. We gotta change the outro. We're not gonna say all that.
All right. I want to say Marcel's here. Thank you,
Yeah,
Marcel. Always good to see you. John Hidayat.
Yeah.
And Corey Arms, he says, I believe there's a righteous spiritual snobbery.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. That's not a paradigm, but that's a good ding, ding. Oran says, stay humble. Bragging will drop you down quickly.
Absolutely.
Hakuna Matata. All right, so great comments here. So I guess after all, we can be honest and share our personal life struggles. Maybe share about your wounds and how you've overcome many of your personal life challenges. It's kind of gotten honest with each other. Hang on a second, I got John sharing something. Oh, he's from Tambaksari village in central Java, Indonesia.
Wow,
Thanks.
nice.
What time is it there for you, John? Is it nighttime? Okay, John,
all right.
I think this has been
a good show, Anna.
Yeah.
Some great paradigm shifting.
Ding, 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 ding.
And we're just going to end it on that note. Thanks, everybody, for showing up for this live stream. And if you have any questions.
Also,
we'll
definitely go to all the different live streams that we have. If you've, just new to finding us, there's many there. It's in the, I always forget the name of the announcement section. Thank you. You'll find it.